Started? So class, today I am going to start a new topic, noun, right? Since we have covered already syntax and articles, the noun is also related with these topics, right? Noun, pronoun. I will follow these topics. Okay. Suppose if I talk about noun, so noun, what do you understand by noun? नाउन से आप क्या समझते हैं? So anything, sometimes small kids say a noun is a name of a person, place, or thing. So whatever we can see, these all things are noun. Whatever we can touch, noun. Sometimes we feel, that is also a noun, right? The broadly noun is classified into two parts. It is classified into two parts. The first is countable noun. Countable noun. And the second one is uncountable noun. Uncountable noun. So you know the meaning of countable and uncountable? So countable, which we can count, uncountable, which we cannot count. So this countable noun is again subdivided into three parts. Three parts. One is proper noun. Proper noun. So when we talk about proper noun, so you know proper noun means the name of a particular person, place, or thing. Like suppose if I take some examples, like Delhi, if I say Rohan, right? Or suppose no, table is not a proper noun. But if I say KD campus, so this is proper noun. So on. Now, moving ahead with this proper noun, after proper noun, the second one is what? Common noun. So, common noun means common noun. So, common noun is common to everyone. Like if I say doctor, teacher, dog,
soldiers,
or you can say chair, institute. These all are what? Common noun. Girl. Okay?
yes.
Then third, if I go with this, the third noun, that is collective noun. Collective noun. So what is collective noun?
Group noun.
Collective noun means collection of people, collection of things, like collection of something like. So we have seen.
Group noun भी बोलते हैं सी group noun.
You can say, but better to go with the collective noun. So collective noun, if I talk about, we have seen many collective nouns, like if I say jury, government, government. Like we have seen herd, choir, choir. Then class,
municipalities,
family, then committee, and so on. So this is what? This is collective noun, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we say bunch or choir of singers, herd of cattle. So herd, bunch, a lot of collective nouns are there, right? Now, if I go with uncountable nouns, so uncountable nouns mainly divided into two parts. The first one is abstract noun. Abstract
Noun.
noun. So abstract noun mainly it is related with what? Feelings,
Emotions.
emotions. Like if you say love,
Attractions.
hate, fear,
Hate.
like honesty, truth, like many collective nouns are there. Anger, truth. So these are collective, abstract noun. So abstract noun is related with what?
Emotions.
Emotions or feelings. The same way, if I talk about the second uncountable noun, that is material noun. Material
Noun.
noun. So material noun, yes, gold, steel, coal, like sugar, right? These all are what?
Material.
Material noun. So we have seen and we have learned in syntax and articles about proper noun. We don't use articles before proper noun. The same way we have seen how to change common noun and how to use common noun in comparative degree. Collective noun we have seen during the syntax topic, how to use verb with this collective noun, singular verb sometimes, sometimes plural verb. In the same way, abstract noun, we don't use any article before abstract noun.
Yes.
But we have seen, we have learned how to use article before these abstract noun and as well as material noun. Now, these are very basic points. Now, moving ahead with the first point, that is, if I talk about the noun, so I will start with noun and number. Noun and number. So noun, that is mainly in noun and number we learn how to convert noun from singular to plural.
Plural.
Right? So like mainly in noun, if it is singular we add s, sometimes es, sometimes is, right, to make it plural. Sometimes we add ves, like wife, life, life, yes, knife. Okay, so we make it plural. But my focus is not to talk about that. But suppose if I take the word apple, the word apple, right? The word apple. And if I want to say there are two apples, there are two peas in this apple, in the word apple. So how you write the word apple? You can say there are two peas in the word apple. In the word apple. Like suppose if I say my number, if I talk about my number or any number, if I take any number 88601511 151392. So there are two 8. So we say 8. How 8? Suppose you both are postgraduate. So maybe your qualification is MA, right?
Yes.
So if I say there are two MAs in my class, so how will you make it? You can write it two MAs. The plural will be MAs. If you're writing MA like this, so you simply say MA. Normally, nowadays we avoid abbreviation, so we say MAs. MPs, the plural form of MPs is what? MPs, MLAs, apostrophe S we give, right? So that we can make it what? Plural. Like if I say your fives and threes look alike. Your fives, as I said, eights and threes look alike. Okay, so the basic from singular to plural, how I skip that point, but these points you need to know. Okay, now write one point. I'll go and discuss with the rules. Right. Some singular nouns are made plural by. Some singular nouns are made. Yes, are made plural by. Plural by adding s or es. Full stop. And right. But their meanings are changed. And different are changed or different. Right. Suppose if I talk about light, so light word, if I take light word, so light, the sun gives us light. I say, please bring a light for me. Suppose next line, if you say all the lights were off. So I use the word light, see here, as an uncountable. Here again countable, I use article A. Here again countable, I use the light, the lights. So you can use in a different way the word light. Now moving ahead with the next word, advise. The next word, advise. So advice is what? Is considered as a singular noun or uncountable noun actually. Uncountable noun. So advise, this is one, this is noun actually. This is noun. And what is the verb form of advise? Advise, this is verb. This is noun, this is verb. Okay. Now, So if I say my teacher gave me a good advice. Same if I write my teacher gave me a piece of advice. A piece of advice. Now, this sentence is wrong. This sentence is wrong. Why we don't use a before want? Before advice. We don't use the word a. So here it is, a is wrong. My teacher gave me advice, or my teacher gave me good advice. Okay? We don't say my teacher gave me a good advice. See, we have learned in earlier classes, that is breakfast, have a breakfast, have a dinner. We don't say. We don't use article before the name of meals. But sometimes when you use adjective, like today, I had a delicious breakfast. So a delicious breakfast, that is fine. But here you will not say, my teacher gave me a good advice. If you want to use a before advice, so you have to make a structure like noun of noun, a piece of advice. Here a is correct. Here a is what? Correct. Now advice, you know the meaning of advice. What is advice? Okay. But if I say the advices received from Mr. Gupta are not good. See, as I said, advice, we don't say advices, but I am using here advices. But it has a different meaning. Right? So, here advices means what? Information. Like we don't say informations, because it is always considered as a singular. Right? So we don't say informations. But like if you want to use instead of information, you can use the word advices. Advices received from Mr. Gupta are, see, here it is considered as what? Plural. So here I am using what? Plural verb. So advices received from Mr. Gupta are not good. It means information. Information. Okay? Now we can take some more examples, like iron. If I talk about the word iron, normally R is silent. So iron is what? A metal. So you can say, sir, iron is a metal. Iron is a metal. But if I add S with this, ions, it has a different meaning. It has a different meaning. What does it mean? Ions normally we say, in Hindi what we call hatkadi, right? So you can say the prisoner was The prisoner was put in irons. The prisoner was put in irons. So this sentence is what? Correct. The prisoner was put in irons. Okay? Getting my points?
Yes.
So sometimes when you change it from singular to plural by adding s, its meanings get changed. Sometimes like if I talk about arm. So arm means part of a body, like arm, right? But if I add s in with this, so we say arms. We say arms. So it has two meanings. One is we all have two arms. We all have
Two arms.
we all have
Two arms.
two arms. We all have two arms. So it means this is singular, this is plural. But we get another meaning. What is the another meaning? That is, the second meaning is what? Weapons. Right?
Yes.
So we say weapons, right? So another meaning when we add, but when we talk about arm, we don't say weapon. Right? But when we make it from singular to plural, what we say? Weapons. So another meaning we get weapons. Okay?
Yes.
Like if I talk about the word quarter. Quarter. So what is the meaning of quarter?
250.
Quarter means
1/4.
1 by 4 normally. So but if I add what? Quarter plus s. So it becomes quarters.
Rooms.
Right? So it has two meanings.
Yes, sir.
Only it is not like the singular, the plural of quarter is quarters. I have added here s, it becomes quarters. But we are getting one another meaning. That is, now we say the flats or accommodation normally the soldiers get, or like family quarters. Okay, so it has a different meaning. So I can explain it with some examples. I can say 2 quarters of an hour is what? How much? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 2 quarters of an hour is 30 minutes. And you can say the principal has his quarters the principal has his quarter in the college campus. In the college campus. It means his accommodation, his family flat. Right. The principal has his quarters in the college campus. Some students were telling or asking, that is, can we say 2 quarters of biryani? Of course. So it means when you change it from singular to plural, quarters, so it's remain the meaning, one meaning remain the same. एक मीनिंग तो वही होगा और दूसरा एक मीनिंग और क्या हो जाएगा? एड ऑन हो जाएगा. एड ऑन, यस. Like if I say wood, what does it mean?
Wood लकड़ी.
मैं चढ़िया लाऊं?
Yes.
material noun, right? So आपने कहा like this chair is made of wood. This chair is made of wood. But if you add s here and it becomes woods. So each has a different meaning.
Yes.
What is that? It becomes forest. Right? You can say, sir, there is a woods. There is a woods. There is a woods near my village. There is a woods near my pond, near my village. So now see, here I am using woods, but before woods I am using a. This one is pond, correct? Because its meaning is what? Forest. So there is a forest near my village, right? So we in context of like material noun we don't say woods. Okay?
Yes.
There are many words like this. Like if I say practice. So practice, normally what does it mean? Habit. Practice means what? Habit.
Exercise.
Like if I say it has become a common practice. A common practice with the students to travel without tickets. It has become a common practice with the students to travel without tickets. Now, I'm writing another example. We should avoid what? We should avoid old practices. Old practices. Now, so here, if I talk, we should avoid the old practices. You can add here the old practices. So, practices and practice. So here practice means what? Habit. Here practice means habit. And here practice means what? We should avoid the old practices. So practices means custom. Custom. Like in Hindi, what we call? Riti, Rivaj, like. Okay. So we should avoid the old practice.
Cultures.
Yes, we should avoid the old practices. So meanings get changed. Meanings get changed. When you say practice, it becomes what? Habit. And when you say practices, it becomes what? Custom. It becomes custom. Okay? Now moving ahead with the next example. Like I'm taking the word spectacle. So a spectacle means, normally if you see the meaning of this, it means sight. Sight. Okay. So the battlefield, the battlefield presented a horrible, horrible war spectacle. The battlefield presented a horrible spectacle. Right? So we don't say spectacles, what we say? A horrible spectacle. The battlefield presented a horrible what? A spectacle. But if I say nowadays, many students cannot read what? Without spectacles. Without spectacles. I said already while teaching syntax that spectacles is always treated as what? Yes, spectacles always treated as plural noun. Okay, so nowadays many students cannot read what? Without spectacles. So here I use a spectacle, its meaning is sight, and here I am using the spectacles, its meaning is glasses. Glasses, right? So you have to understand how one noun is used in as a singular, it has a different meaning, and when we make it plural, it has a different meaning. Okay?
Yes.
So have I made myself clear? Understood?
Yes.